Hey, it's Chris. What are we talking about today? Well, we're going back to 2023. My top 10 of 2023. Where are they now? Are they as good as advertised? Or were they flash in the pans? Have I played them a whole lot since then? Do I still want to play them? Do I want even them in my collection whatsoever? Right? Because I think that has to go through people's heads when you say, okay, Chris, you said these were that good. Were they just that good? Were they that good for you? Were they just mechanically sound? Or were they games that you, again, reviewer hat off, content creator hat off, just Chris freaking board game lover, where are you with them, essentially, right? No mystery what these 10 games are, but how have my feelings changed? Ooh, let's go. Spicy conversation. First up, no surprises, right? Right here. Don't even need to look. I know right where it is. Dune frickin' Imperium Uprising. As discussed a little bit elsewhere, but we'll still discuss it here for the sake of the conversation. It was my number one game of 2023. Guess what? Still there. Do I still want to play it? Heck yes. Do I still own original Dune Imperium? Yes. Am I going to get rid of Dune Imperium Original number one? Probably not. Do I have both the expansions for the original? Yes. Is the number one game on my wish list at retail right now Dune Imperium Uprising Bloodlines? Yes. Did I miss the deadline for pre-ordering it from Dialwolf? Yes. Otherwise, I'd be getting my copy at the time of me filming this. So, I don't know. Dune. More freaking Dune Uprising Imperium, right? It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. Amazing, amazing game. If you're looking to dabble for the first time, yeah, you're probably better off getting the original. At the same time, if you know you're already going to like it a lot, you're maybe better off with this. So then the question is, as the two expansions for the original, do they port over as well? Is Bloodlines going to port over this way? Who cares, right? It's going to be a freaking awesome game. That's all I can say, right? It's absolutely, absolutely, and utterly amazing in that regard. And then number two, right? Number two actually is sitting right down there below. I don't know if you can see it. Foundations of Metropolis. It's hidden behind there. Vadis from Bitewing. And you know what? I said, let's bring it out just in case people think I'm just spouting off and just saying things randomly, right? Vadis, woo, there's the game. It's the deluxe version. It really fits a niche of category that I don't have a lot of in my collection at the higher player counts. Games that I want to play at the 3, but even more so 4 and 5 player count. And as a person who is not a fan typically of the sort of negotiation, bluffing, bidding aspects of some other games, this one actually just really freaking works. And I can't really say enough good things about it. And it's not like hugely tension. It's just, you know what? Thinking like the Godfather-esque style. Do me a favor, if you will. And that just is cool. And the using your powers only to help other people as a negotiation tactic is incredibly clever. It's a fantastic reimagining of the original that just improves on it in all regards. And so it isn't a game that we play a ton, but it's also a game that you can introduce basically to anybody. And for that, especially with the player count, I don't have anything else like it, and I would not want to get rid of it whatsoever. Again, fantastic game. Probably all of these top 3 are top 25 games for me all time. In what order and how they changed. You know what? Vadis probably lower than number 1 and number 3 here overall speak. But in terms of sometimes, do I just want to play it, right? Because as I made in the other video, I think from last month, the unpopular opinions video, I said, no one looks at their collection and goes, well, I rate that a 7.8, so I want to play that more. And I rate that an 8.2, so therefore I want to play that more. Some nights you're just in the mood for certain stuff. Some nights you're in the mood for number 77 on your top 100 list over number 3. That's just the way it is. Numerical ranking, Board Game Geek ranking, rating in general, frickin' thrown out the window. Speaking, though, of things that aren't getting thrown out the window, my number 3 last year, which wasn't technically a 2023 game, so it doesn't get included in some of the lists that get compiled every year, Summoner Wars! Yeah, I've gotten like 4 more expansions since last year. 5, maybe? I don't know. However, I don't have them all. Not all of them have appealed, but I picked up the last 1 or 2 that just got released here at the end of 2024. And again, just as a freaking amazing game. This is a standard bearer for the 2-player asymmetric faction-based, don't need to construct, but can if you want to, game from Plaid Hat. Again, wasn't kidding. Top 25 for me. It's up there. Like, I think dynamically fun-wise, I think Exceed beats this overall, but just having the pre-construction and the spatial element that Exceed doesn't have, this one absolutely knocks it out of the park. And all of the factions are just so fun and unique and incredibly different that every time I read the description of the next one that Plaid Hat is releasing, like the first 2 that are coming out in 2025, I just go, shouldn't get that. Don't play the base game enough. Shouldn't get that. Don't play the expansion content enough. Find my couple factions I like. I'm going to buy it. Oh, shoot. How did that end up in my cart? So there you go, right? Number four. Again, don't have to reach very far. It's actually even on camera. It's right over here. And this is Race for the Raft from City of Games. Now, I just talked about earlier in December my review, my thoughts on the other one from them, if I can find it right here as well. Cats, the light edition. No, it's you know, Isle of Cats duel, 2-player polyomino, fill up your boat with the cat polyominoes, which, you know, it's a fantastic polyomino game. But when I want to do something cooperative, this again is teachable, it's explainable, it's understandable. How many other ubbles can I come out with in a row? It fits all those compliments I can give a fantastic, every level gamer cooperative game. Again, tile laying in a different overlapping sense, the strategy of getting the cats in order, and sort of the game, the crew style communication limited in terms of just also going in whatever order you want and mishmashing it together. So it's one that I've actually been able to teach some of my extended family and have them enjoy it as well for non-gamers that they are. And from that aspect, I can't say that about a lot of the cooperative games that I play. A lot of the cooperative games that I'm teaching, you know, people outside of the immediacy are more like the crew, more like the game. I don't get a chance to play something like even, you know, sometimes the loop, because it is a little bit of a step up. Not, you know, again, not for you, but for the people sometimes that I am close to that I would like to get more involved into the hobby. And so this is a perfect bridge in that regard. Then the other one, actually on camera as well, it's just slightly out of sight. Okay, maybe it's not on camera. It's just slightly out of sight right here. It's Nekojima. And reach over and grab it. And you may remember it from my review where I had the most improbable, unlikely scenario happen where one of these little cats hanging from the wire strings, bridging the gap, fell on camera. I caught it on camera and it fell from one rope to the next rope without actually hitting the ground. It was amazing. I don't know why I'm talking about that, but it's one of my kids' favorite dexterity games. I remember getting my copy when it fulfilled, and my son, right, at the time, he was 9, he's 10 now, he goes, "Hey, is that game with the cats?" And I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Let's play it right now tonight." And I said, "Okay." So have we played it a ton since? No, we haven't, honestly. But it's not because of anything in particular. It's a short time frame. You play it multiple times in a row. The big criticism I have is, you know, having a final production copy, the strings that tie these wooden pieces together, they're almost a little bit too long in general. So the, you know, sort of the strings sag, all of them. And then that's fine. But then the cats are a little bit too heavy as well. So if you're placing them anywhere near the middle of the rope, you know, it almost tears it down every single time. So you have to, like, on the side, but the side is where it's super steep, so then it's unbalanced, and then so, you know, I think there may have been some retooling there that I wouldn't have minded, just to make them a little bit lighter, a little bit easier, so the degree of difficulty is a little bit more accessible. But again, like, I don't really have anything like it. It's just I just don't play a ton of these games like this in the first place, dexterity wise. So I think I like it better than some of the others that I've played. Yes, I played Rhino Hero. Yes, we went through that whole system with it with kids and, you know, the stacking, and, you know, it's fine. But overall, I like this. It's probably only beaten out by my German copy of Animal Upon Animal, the bridge version right there that you can see as the yellow box that's just kind of hiding right here. And that's probably my most favorite one of all. And Animal Upon Animal is actually a very difficult game if you play it correctly at times. I'm a bad gamer, in case that wasn't clear. I'm horrible, and I have no qualms about admitting that on a regular basis on this channel. I love games, I suck at them. I was running around trying to find my copy of the next one. I have no clue where it is off the top of my head, which is slightly disconcerting, but slightly another fact that I have too many games, and I had a couple people back out from buying them from me this past weekend when I was trying to sell a couple bigger ticket items. So if you'd like to buy any bigger ticket items from me on the cheap, because I guarantee I'll be a price lower than anything on the internet, you can hit me up in the details down below. Anyway, though, I was trying to look for my copy of Gosu X. Again, another 2-player head-to-head dueler. I think I was the only one that rated it at all as a top game of whatever number in 2023, right? Because that's why you come to this channel. I talk about stuff that other people don't talk about. Oh, it's not always a good thing. But I'll say it's here. And I also love it. Still love it. Have not played it as much as Summoner Wars or Exceed or BattleCon, but I ended up, after the long wait and very close following of Sorry We Are French, the publisher, the release of the 2 individual deck expansions that were originally only released in French, the second of which was released out over Essen. And I subscribed to Philibert, the French board gaming website, sales, their big store, and I snagged one of the dozen or so copies of each of them. Yeah, I paid too much for them. Yeah, I had to get them shipped from France. And so the shipping cost me about as much, or, equivalent of the 2 expansions together. Screw it. Can't get them anywhere else right now in English. And so I'm very happy with it from that aspect. If you're not familiar, basically you have this 3 tiers of cards that you're slowly, playing out, and that you have to have, the base in order to do the next level, and you take that and you have a very limited deck to begin with, and the decks or the factions that you don't use, when you do not use them, they're not in play. They actually play an influence because they change some of the dynamic rules that you are going to be having to constrain yourself with or not constrain yourself with for that game. And so, yes, it is still here. Yes, it is still amazing. Yes, I now own everything for it. I'm super happy. Although there is some errata that, is kind of in my game that they haven't really done or released widely. So there's always that. Then I included this again because it was the new edition of this past year. And that is, I can't pick it up with one hand. The Pharaoh edition from 25th Century Games. And I said, and I did this review or preview or impressions video when the first crowdfunding campaign came from 25th Century. I said, I can't believe I've never played Ra. I can't believe this game is that good. This is the El Grande Hansa Teutonica level of the simplicity of the rulebook and the enjoyment factor. Again, very similar to Zoo Vadis in the sense that it is just almost better at 3 and 4 than I prefer to play it at 2. And I don't say that a lot of games. The production is knock it out of the park. And you know what? At the same time, I didn't really feel the need to go after traders when traders, not traitors, in case you guys are watching this at, 2 times speed and it sounds different, on their recent crowdfunding campaign. I just don't know. It was a wait and see retail wise, even though now if I try and get it, I probably won't be able to match my Pharaoh edition. But I'm okay with that. Auction bidding, press your luck. I did not think I was going to enjoy it this much. I am still just as hyped about it. This is an all-time great game for a lot of people. This is a game, again, that just spans multiple play groups, multiple play styles, multiple interest in mechanics, like one of those that is ubiquitously across the board amazing. And I just hope that with this new edition, it starts rocketing back up into people's attention, if not rocketing up the Board Game Geek rankings, if you care about those sort of things, which I don't typically, to just show the love that is this game in the first place. So is it still there? Absolutely. Is it going anywhere? Absolutely not. Again, and you know what? The main thing, if you get nothing else out of this video, I guess at this point, is to say that when Chris says that these are his favorite games, right? These are his favorite, best games of the year. Not like just trying to capitalize on a little karma, not trying to capitalize on a little bit of click. Boy howdy, if he's that strong about them and that enthusiastic about them, yeah, it's not just going to be a flash in the pan for him. So I feel like I am consistent, at least in this way. I'm a hypocrite in plenty of other ways. And then Thunder Road Vendetta. Oh, Thunder Road Vendetta. Oh, it's sitting over there. But what's this? Yeah, this is the rule book for Carnival of Chaos because I'm too lazy to go over and get the box. Okay, you shamed me. You shamed me in the comment section down below. I went and got the box. By the way, if I'm helping you not buy things, inter-video plug for my Patreon down below, especially if I've helped you avoid FOMO or you like my unpopular opinions with me shouting at the clouds. More of that on my Patreon. Link and subscribe. Anyway, back, apart from the infomercial, Carnival of Chaos. Did you keep the game? Yeah, I kept the game. I love it. It's still better for me than Joyride. It's probably still not as accessible as Heat Pedal to the Metal, which, truth be told, I haven't picked up the Heavy Rain expansion for that. I just can't justify it. Can I justify this? Nope. Do I love it? Yup. And I'm okay with that. And it does the Mad Max style of take that. I like the racing. I haven't had a chance to really fully experience this, and I also just realized at this portion of the video I have this upside down since I flipped it over. So we'll just do that and pretend like all of that previously will, you know, be okay. And so do I like the road rally sort of, you know, slog instead of the race slog? I'm not sure, and we'll see. I was willing to give Restoration Games the benefit of my doubt that this would be another amazing one. And I've, you know, seen comments, and I would argue that maybe this and Chop Shop might be the most optimal if you're looking at this and you don't have like a maximum Chrome edition. Buy the regular version, get these 2 expansions on the cheaper, and call it good, because you might just be good from that aspect and unnecessary all the other in-betweens. And that'd probably be okay with it too, so then you save yourself some money in addition. There you go. Then Tales to Amaze. Tales to Amaze. Where's Tales to Amaze? Where's Tales? It's right here. It's right here. So, you know, again, right? It's front and center. I still will say I wasn't a huge fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the crowdfunding campaign. I still will say I will end up with a copy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tales to Amaze, Cooperative, whatever you want to call it, right? And I would still say that I'd love it. And I'm looking at getting the recently or upcoming, depending on when this airs and depending on when the actual like wide distribution release is, for The Witcher, right? Witcher Unmatched. I think they look really cool. I've been on the fence with Slings and Arrows and the Sun's Origin expansions. I'm not, surprisingly, actually a fan of any of the Marvel sets that they've got out there, and I'm okay with that. So those are the ones I'm looking at, which is really just going to be intriguing to see how they're going to grow their biggest brand in 2025. Because we know next to nothing except for at some point Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is going to come to retail. Are they going to hold the license long enough to put out an expansion or a couple for it? Are we going to see other big name IPs? Are they going to go back to the generic, you know, sort of not IP names as well of the legends? It'll be interesting to see where they go. I would imagine that you're going to see both. If I had to call a shot, I'd say you're going to see both. I know he's, ooh, look at that. That's a big shot, Chris. But you know what? Again, like, I think they're going to get another big IP, and I think you're going to see another classical line to go right along with it. I don't think they're going to go either or. I think they're going to do very similar to what Dice Stone is doing, IP and then original and then IP and then original, because you appease both sides of the fan base that want that and then don't want that. And then you can, as a fan, choose which ones you choose to support and get. Then you also, in a great way, don't have to feel like you need them all, because some of them just don't appeal to you. And that's actually, folks, spoilers, a good thing that you don't have to buy them all. Right? Right? You don't have to buy them all and not play them all. You can only buy half of them and not play all of them that you have, right? And last up, Lacuna. Boop. Camera magic. Awesome. Lacuna. Lacuna Matata, baby. This is just a really nice abstract game from CMY Games. I'm just really enamored by this. I really think this cylinder thing is really stupid too. It's like, well, you can take the top off and you can pour stuff out, and that's how they can randomly be dispersed on the cloth. Which, by the way, I really do like the cloth and the metal pieces. And so if you don't have this game, and, you know, I'm going to put the rules back in here before I forget about them, you know, it's quality product. I like the cloth. I like the metal pieces. I like the wooden tokens. it's worth the price point. I'm an abstract lover, and so this is probably the most accessible abstract for me to play with my kids. And they love it. And we play 2 or 3 games in a row every single time we play it. And so I have no regrets about this being 10 on the list, because there were a couple honorable mentions and there were a couple close cuts, especially my 11 to 20 last year. Like 11 to 15 was, you know, real close in terms of what was going to get what. And so it easily could have gone either way. But now looking back at this one and saying accessibility, saying ease of play, saying enjoyment of being able to play, again, with all levels, sort of a little bit of an eye cut you choose, right? It's got the 7 different colors. Each of those 7 colors has 7 pieces. Then all you do is you put down your metal marker somewhere between 2 of the same color. You grab those 2, and then those pieces stay out there. So after you've laid all your pieces and there are extra flowers down, whoever's closest to each individual flower gets to pick up them. And that's how you collect the best of the best, or the most of the rest, however you want to phrase it. And it's just great. It's just a great game. More games like this, more abstracts like this that are just approachable, but a little bit strategic, but just fun. That's why I do it. 1, make these videos. 2, talk about games. 3, play games, because it's fun. That's all I got, right? I told you. Very, very, very good list for me from 2023. And so I hope that if anyone else is doing stuff like this, I'd be interested to see what the lists look like. And again, you know what? That's why when I talk about stuff on the channel, and you know I'm enthusiastic about it, it's transparency more than anything else. And so 2024's is going to be very, very similar in some of the same ways, hopefully, when we look at it in 2025. Okay, peace out. Let me know, how did you do with your games from 2023? Were you as essentially almost 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10 here? It's a fantastic year. I love it. And so anyone who says it wasn't a good year in board gaming last year or this year, you know what? I'm sorry, because it was for me, and I hope it was for you too. Hit the sub. Let me know down below. Thumb it. And have a great freaking fantastic day. Stay classy.